Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala Sayyidina al-Mursaleen amma ba'd. The question is asking here, he's working in an engineering job and it's got to do with aviation, and he's not sure if that aviation, there is a military aspect to it, but he's not sure if it's going to be used for, waging war or anything which is impermissible Islamically. We've previously answered guidelines for employment and that which is halal and that which is haram. But the reason why we're recording a separate clip here is to explain another very important point, which is that which is connected to intentionally or unintentionally cooperation upon what is good and what is not good. And the ulama have said that there are 4 scenarios when it comes to cooperation. A person cooperates in something which is good or bad, directly and intentionally, the person will be given what he has intended for. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَّا نَوَىٰ. So you directly help someone to do something with the intention of helping them to do something, good or bad, you will get the recompense of that. Either it's a reward or it's a sin. That's the first scenario. Second scenario, a person indirectly helps someone, but he has the intention to help that person. And the example is the same evidence that we've just quoted, but the example that has been mentioned by the ulama is such as a person selling grapes. If a person knows that that person is going to make wine from it, that is a form of indirect but intentional helping, and that's not permissible, and the person will be given the recompense for that. And that could be also in something which is good. So for example, a person who plants a seed, from that comes a tree. His intention was to, plant a seed so a tree will grow. People will eat from that tree. People will take shade from that tree. People might benefit in other ways from that tree. All of those indirect things that he had the intention to do, the one good deed, all of those other things are included in the reward. And this is the fadl of Allah and the rahmah upon us, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another example that ulama give of that is that if a person prays 2 rak'at in the masjid with the intention of tahiyyatul masjid, for example, but he knows that people will be reminded by it, or people will take him as a lesson to see how you should pray, etc. His intention was for the sake of Allah to enter into the masjid and pray those 2 rak'at. But because there is indirect but intentional intention to do a good deed, all of those things which have an indirect consequence are included in that one intention. Walillahi alhamd. Third scenario, directly helping someone without the intention, that person is not sinful. And that is the answer to this question here. A person works in Amazon, a person works in a warehouse, a person works for a delivery service, a person works in a permissible job in engineering, and he has no intention to help those people to do what is haram, then that person must go with what he thinks is likely or what he has evidence for. If no such evidence of sin or anything haram exists, then that person can continue in that job. So for example, a person works in an Amazon warehouse, he's just got a carton in front of him, he has no idea about its contents, it's permissible. But if it becomes clear to him that it's got alcohol in it or something haram, or he thinks very likely it's going to be used for something haram, then that becomes different. But in his asl here, we're talking about directly helping, but without the intention, the person is not sinful for that. And the fourth scenario is that a person indirectly helps without the intention. And this is the furthest away from any kind of cooperation upon badness. But also, the goodness is also included in that. So now imagine a person indirectly helps someone to do a good deed, but he had no intention. He's missed out on an opportunity of reward. And this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes those people who are closest to Him. And the highest level of Jannah are those people who constantly check their intentions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the muqarrabin in Surah Al-Waqi'ah in the beginning of it and the end of it. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he says those people are the sincerest of people, even when it comes to permissible actions. So even the indirect one, they have an intention which is always there. They are reminded of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the intention is always being corrected. Therefore, in almost every single action, every single movement, there is an act of worship in it for them, and that's why they are the closest to Allah subhanahu. These are the 4 scenarios when it comes to cooperation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, ta'awanu al-birri wa taqwa wa la ta'awanu al-ithmi wa udwan. Cooperate upon what is good and bir and taqwa, and do not cooperate upon ithm and sin and transgression. Ayah number 2 from Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter number 5. And these are the 4 things that the ulama have mentioned when it comes to this ayah here and what is cooperation. I feel this has already been mentioned somewhere else. I feel that there has been a clip on it, but this is to refresh and revise, and hopefully the brother gets reward for this clip as well, for asking this question. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He grants us all tawfiq and success and the best of ability to understand His religion, and that He makes us of those people who are sincere and those rectify their intention, so that all of their actions become for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على نبينا.